Hello everyone, Richard here with more Ultimate Mode Panzer Corps. I think this is a long-awaited replay people want to see. I think I found a fairly robust way to get a decisive victory on this map. The exception would be, I think if you get 2 rain turns, it's really dicey and iffy, and impossible if you get 3. But I think I got 1 rain turn in this playthrough and it was okay. It actually worked in my favor when I got it. Soren, first and foremost, Soren gets a lot of credit for initial deployment, core composition, strategies, traps, and all of that. This, I think I spent an hour on turn 1, and it was because my core is not the same strength as his core on his man-scene playthrough. And I was running into a particular problem in this region. I need to sneak a tank in the back to force some surrenders, but I don't want to. I only have 1800 or 1900 prestige, so I don't really want to spend a bunch of money on 38 keys and then overstrengthen them. And Kesha isn't even 1 star as well at this point. So it wasn't that easy for me to park a tank here and be spotted by the fighter, and not get attacked. Because the issue I was running into is that to be close enough to wrap around, you have to park in this spot. But I found an ingenious way around the issue. If you reseed the scenario so that it's cloudy turn 1 and clear turn day, you get the best outcome. If I just reseed it, then when the fighter falls for a fighter trap here, the fighter isn't aware there's anything to attack here. And so you can kind of proceed on turn 2 to do what Soren does. He does a lot of ambushes and surrenders in this region, and he's very aggressive over here. I was able to mimic that part without too much difficulty, and it's more realistic what happens over here compared to his playthrough. He got really, really lucky on a few things. But it's pretty astonishing that even without extremely good luck, you can still easily crush this pocket. So there were some fighter traps. I was a little different in my... After destroying this initial force, I think I kind of hang out in this region anyway, because I don't have the strength to easily shuffle units back and forth. So... I keep a few things down here. The other thing that's different from my attempt with Soren is that I get wild. I have to get super aggressive to go for the decisive. I don't have the luxury of setting things up to be perfect. I should point out here, Soren did a lot of things that were brilliant. He parked an artillery piece here so you could move it onto this bridge. You need it there so you can hit artillery next turn. Storm Panzers are up close so that within 2 turns you can target the artillery. Funneling an artillery piece down here is huge to help set up ambushes. I tried to put a green artillery piece here, it didn't work. I tried to use my Panzer 1 in these ambushes, it didn't work. You have to use Kesha. It actually is very effective with Kesha, even though Kesha's at 0 stars. So that's how powerful Soren's traps are, is that even with a weaker core, they still work. That was nice, and yeah, these tricks with just balls to the walls, crazy forward aggression is absolutely necessary. The other difference, I actually could have improved as well. I think I could have brought my cavalry in faster, but I was kind of following Soren, and he didn't bring his cavalry in. He didn't need to, but I think if I brought my cavalry in a little bit faster, some of the chaos in the north would have been less chaotic. So that's something to note, that it would be very easy to improve upon what I did here. So you can do this. It's totally fine. That's important. You set a fighter trap right there on that hex, that exact hex. Oh, I should mention, let me pause. I also positioned a fighter here and 1 here so that you can take it out and be able to move the fighters next turn. Look at all of that bullshit. By the way, just look at this map real quick. I wipe out everything but 4 units, and I take every objective. So watch the madness. Oh no, stop. Okay. It's crazy how many units I destroyed in 16 turns. Just crazy. I'm actually surprised the artillery didn't fire after moving. So we get helmet lint. So the first part is you're gonna force a surrender on that infantry, and I need a tank to sneak in the back. Block the scout from hitting the artillery, because there's 2 scouts, you have to be worried about that. I hit that with lint to make sure I can kill it. But don't kill the artillery until you kill the infantry. My setup's a little bit different. I'm trying to protect from the cavalry from hitting things, so I put Boulevardier here. So I have 2 tanks to take out that artillery. It will pretty much work every time. The infantry sneaks into the city, which completely stymies the entire assault in this region. And if this artillery piece is crippled, and you have artillery backing everything up, it's not a problem. Oh, I should mention... One second. Stop. Okay, I did something different from Soren. I have an SE mountain unit I don't care about that is going to pull into an ambush and you don't care how much damage it takes, which is really nice. So this is a beautiful trap. It'll work every time too if you get this to work. So I'm gonna damage that artillery as much as possible. I should just bring the cavalry all the way forward. And you're just gonna start working on these guys immediately. Usually you do more damage than what I did, but I didn't in this case. Kesha did his job. Ah! When you're backed up with overstrength artillery, so this pulls the other scout forward. I think that's a good thing. I don't think I have the luxury of trying to double trap. So this devastated that tank. Now that this is forward, my tactical bombers can engage with it. And I have 2 tanks in the south, so that will help. Boom. Turn 3, that massive gun is finished. And now my 88 gun can kill the tank. I'm moving forward very aggressively. I'm changing here from Soren because I don't have the same core strength. Look at that. Look at all this artillery. I even have a Panzer as backup. And because the cavalry can't see that artillery, another double artillery trap. This is very different from Soren's as well. It's really effective though. I'm sure he's a little jealous I found this one. retreating can be so effective. Look at the positioning of my troops where I can just clean up. I'm using the tank because he needs experience. Actually, why did I even do that? I could have used the Panzerjäger. Let me point out something. Now that I'm watching this replay, I could have put the Panzerjäger in the forest with double artillery, and this guy would have gone forward. Cavalry snatches this, and then I could have put... I could have just put Kesha here. Yeah, I could have just put Kesha here. Now that I think about it. That's crazy. That would have set a beautiful trap on that infantry. But I think maybe I thought I couldn't be too conservative. Oh, I want to just kill it outright. Oh, and then I have artillery behind Kesha again. That is more efficient now that I think about it. If you were doing this on Manstein, that would be really devastating. So we're gonna kill things and force surrenders. So I put artillery there. Cavalry can't see some of that. Or no, cavalry can see all of it. I was surprised that they attacked Oladir. That was a shame. Oladir is still very strong. You'll see that. So turn 4, the second wave is starting to attack. Which is good. You want them to attack as fast as possible. But now you're in range of my 88. I wanted to suppress it enough so Oladir wouldn't take it. Look at the damage I got in there. Now I have to start taking risks because I need to kill units fast. And it paid off. And I'm setting another trap. Wow, that's really good. How could they ignore the Panzerjäger there? So now, I still haven't cleaned up the south, so that's part of the reason I'm keeping some things down there. I damaged the bomber, and the bomber doesn't move, so that's a fact. So that's really convenient. I didn't realize tanks were coming already, so the tanks spotted the artillery, which is unfortunate. That's my SE unit, and because that unit pulled itself in, it made it easier for me to kill it. And my SE unit can still be useful gobbling hexes. But his job is done at this point. Getting some decent XP for my tank. Man, I took out the artillery piece, so they're blinded to the existence of my units. I'm blocking that unit from reinforcing too much. I'm sending some more auxiliary units south. Look at that ambush. Ah. Unfortunately, it exposed my cavalry. But it was worth it because I took out a major artillery piece. Another tank is gone. So I'm on turn 7, and I'm absolutely crushing this second counterattack. And I still have Kesha, and I still have my Panzer 1, and I still have 2 functional Panzerjägers to deal with the third wave, which is really good. And look at that double artillery trap. They could see the tank, the Panzer 1, in the hills, and they thought that's easy targeting. Another tank is down. I'll point out something that's really funny to me. I came so hard and so fast that the tank didn't even stop in the city and came and joined the fight. So this hex is mine for the taking, with no fighting. And that's a really good thing because it opens up the north completely. Gonna force another surrender. So that's all that's left of the northern counterattack after 8 turns is 2 units. I think that's extremely impressive. I think that my fighter finished that off. Oh no, Helmet Lent did. So I wiped out the engineer in the south, so the south is open now. And And on turn 9, I start shooting to kill that scout. Keep in mind, I've got my 1 strength mountain unit who can simply gobble up open hexes. And I'm selling him next turn anyway. So, not a biggie. So basically, 8 turns I dealt with 2 massive counterattacks. And that cavalry, for some reason, was extremely difficult to kill. So I just forced them onto a river hex, so it'll be super easy to deal with the cavalry next turn. I'm retreating again because I know there's a group coming from the south. And that fighter is dealt with. Yeah, there's 6 more tanks. It's disgusting. So Oladir begins the process. You want the third force to come out in the south, so Oladir can sneak in through the north. Next stop is setting ambushes again. Double Stuka strategy secures all these hexes. Surrender opportunity. And I'm offering the anti-aircraft gun as bait to distract them. And my Air Force will come to the rescue. I'm offering another auxiliary unit as bait. So the artillery is crippled. We can't do anything. So I basically have the enemy engaged with me everywhere. Boom! So this is perfect. The tank is going down. Both of those artillery pieces are probably going down. I'm waiting as long as I need to. I want to make sure the force is really committed in the south. Look at that. And I'm offering more traps for the cavalry. Panzer I's cheap to reinforce and did its job of distracting the tank so that I could and then that trap worked again. I'm setting up the Panzerjäger as a bait target. Boom. Turn 13, Oladir locks in on his target. And now my Air Force is going to go in. I'm using the level bomber over the major hex to de-entrench and draw anti-aircraft fire. A handy little trick to never forget. And now I can shove that tank into the hills. And then I can suppress it again. If I wanted. I draw artillery fire on the anti-tank. Now my 88 gun is like, this is heaven. I don't know what happened, but not all of these units came out. I have the luxury of kind of toying with the tank because I know I'm getting a decisive. Because Oladir is right next to the hex. Perfect. By offering that unit, it protects my group from the north. But yeah, if I wanted to, a decisive in 15 turns is doable. But I wanted to kill more things, so I delayed it. And that pulled the tank into the city, which is perfect. And the cavalry has one last job to do, and that's draw infantry into artillery fire. Perfect. Just perfect. On the final turn, the big tank is taken out. You see that strategy of parking the auxiliary unit over the victory hex works all the time? With one exception I'll get to at the end here. Now I'm going to try to take out that anti-aircraft unit. With better planning, you can take out, in my opinion, you could take out 2 more units, maybe 3. I don't think you could do all of them, but I think you could take these 2 out and do more damage on these guys. But still, very impressive. The thing with the auxiliary unit over a major hex, I noticed that if you control the major hex, then the anti-aircraft switches into attack the most expensive unit. So it's just something to keep in mind on final turns. If you didn't kill the anti-aircraft unit, that trick will stop working. But most of the time, you're not going to be in that kind of position. So I hope you're all as impressed as I am with how this scenario went. Absolutely crazy that I was able to kill so many units. Let me know what you think. Until next time, Richard out.